So yesterday we had an announcement for a brand new Monster Hunter game called Monster Hunter Outlanders. Unfortunately, however, it seems that that game is only going to be releasing on mobile devices, and quite frankly, that is not something that is super appealing to me because I don't want to be playing this on my phone. I don't want to be playing anything on my phone because I'm a big boomer and I like the tactile feeling of controllers, mouse and keyboard. That's my jam, and that makes games way more immersive and satisfying to play for me. However, do we have to play Monster Hunter Outlanders on our phones? Maybe there's a different solution to that. Stay tuned till the end of the video for more on that. However, we also had a bunch of new information released since yesterday. We're going to be going over that, including even an interview with the development team where I fully expect them to confirm something that I was suspicious of, and that is the fact that this game is likely going to be a gacha. I'm pretty sure there's already information out there on the internet about this, but I've been busy today setting up some stuff here on my workspace, so I haven't really gotten around to any of that, so I'm going to be watching the developer interview completely fresh and giving you guys my opinions on it, as well as a couple more things that I want to talk about. So let's go ahead and get right into it here. So first, I did a poll on my YouTube channel where I was asking people, hey, where are you guys at on Monster Hunter Outlanders? These polls show up on the community page, so in case you didn't see this, you probably might want to subscribe. Liking the video also helps because that all sends like positive signals to the YouTube algorithm, and then the algorithm is like, oh, so you like Rurikhan stuff. Okay, well, check this out. But anyway, you know, subscribe, bell notification, all of that jazz. But the results of the poll were that 31% of you guys said that you are interested in the game. Only 2% of people said that it looks terrible, which, to be honest, considering that it is a mobile game, I expected a significantly larger amount of people to say that the game looked bad. And 16% of you were kind of like indifferent to it, but the overwhelming majority is like, I don't play mobile games. And I get it. But what if you could play it on the PC? Again, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about that. But at that point, the main concern would just be how fair is the monetization? And that is going to be the biggest point for me. Like, I'm gonna try and see if I can get into the beta, check out the game, see all of that stuff, and bring back as much information as possible. Because unlike Monster Hunter Now, which the moment I looked at the gameplay of Monster Hunter Now, I can instantly tell this is not something that is going to interest me at all. But Outlanders, on the other hand, I looked and it wasn't gameplay, obviously, it's just like the little bit of CGI stuff and whatnot, but just like looking at the idea of the game, it actually does seem like it's something that might be interesting to me. And some of you guys might say, oh, but Rurikhan, it's going to be a gacha. But the thing is, the reason I stopped playing Genshin Impact wasn't because it was a gacha. I stopped playing Genshin Impact because playing the game was boring, because I had to constantly wait for the stamina to refill and whatnot, and it was just terrible. And that was one of the reasons. I know that Genshin Impact Defender is going to come in here and all that stuff. Listen, guys, I'm not interested in arguing that. I'm just letting you know the reason I stopped playing Genshin Impact wasn't because of the gacha side of things. There was another different reason. So it being a gacha is not instantly a turnoff, but it is a big turnoff as well, because obviously being a gacha with the pulls and all that stuff, there's obviously going to be pay-to-win elements instantly off the bat. But yeah, I also made the same poll on Twitter here, and on Twitter it seems that people are way more accepting of mobile games, because we actually had a 42% of people saying that I'm interested, and only 34% said that they don't play mobile games. And again, 2.8% saying that it looks terrible. So just a couple of interesting numbers to look at. And also in yesterday's video, I asked you guys if you had played games from this studio, from Timmy's studio, to tell me how you feel about the monetization of those games. And so I was looking at like some of these top comments. We have somebody here saying, can't wait to play Breath of the Genshin Hunter, which yes, it does give me Breath of the Wild vibes and Genshin Impact vibes and all that stuff. We have Vix88 here saying that PC client is all but given. Capcom and Tencent would be too stupid to overlook it. I don't know if we're getting a PC client or not. I think there's definitely a possibility for it, but like I said, I also don't. I think we might not need it. Then there's McGrubbers here, who plays Pokemon Unite, which is another game that was developed by Timmy Studios, and he says, people are saying Pokemon Unite only had monetization for cosmetics. That is not true. Although you can get all non-cosmetic items without paying, there are items that strengthen your Pokemon that take a long time to farm, and until you do, you are technically at a disadvantage to other players. Now, naturally, this is going to be a PvE game, so competitiveness is not going to be as much of a factor, but, you know, pay to win is pay to win. Like I've always said, if you can get a 0.0001% faster experience than other players, as far as I'm concerned, it's pay to win. So, you know, likely monetization is going to be pay to win. It's just going to be a matter of, like, is it going to be pay to win to a degree that we are going to be accepting of it? Because one of the things that I always said is, like, Warframe's pay to win is just a lot of people just accept it that way. So it's just about it striking a balance. I'm still not a fan of it, don't get me wrong, and it's probably not going to be something that I'm going to be taking seriously, but as something to spend a little bit of time into. I don't know. Might be interesting. We also have here from Inobi. I played Arena of Valor for quite a long period of time. The monetization for the MOBA was mainly just for cosmetics. Can't remember them forcing any types of monetization, but that's how most MOBA games are. One thing good that I found in Arena of Valor, monetization for the skins was not as bad as the mobile games in terms of pricing. Hopefully that will be the case for Monster Hunter Outlanders. You know, there's a couple more comments to talk about monetization, but there's not that much feedback. So now, before we get into the news, let's take a quick look at this, which was suggested by one of you guys, which was, there's this thing that Google has now, which is Google Play Games. I haven't tried this out at all. I might check it out later, but apparently this is something that you can download, and it allows you to play mobile games on your PC, and the system requirements for it is UHD graphics 630 GPU or comparable, which I was looking up online. Seems like this is weaker than a 1060, so this should be something that most of us on the PC side of things should be able to get. But, you know, it's just an alternative so that we don't have to play it on our phones. But we'll have to see how, you know, this thing handles on a controller and all that stuff, which, like I said, I might test this out, see how it runs once we get, like, betas for the game or something like that. Might be something interesting. But anyway, for now, let's jump into the developer interview and see what they have to say about the game. Monster Hunter Outlanders producers interview.
大家好，我是腾讯游戏天美工作室群 Monster Hunter Outlanders 的。
Okay, so there doesn't seem to be like English stuff, so I'm going to try to read the subtitles real fast.
大家好
Hello everyone, I'm
我
Dong
是腾讯天美
Huang,
工作室群 Monster Hunter
producer of Monster Hunter Outlanders at
团队
Tencent Games Team Studio Group. Today alongside Sunano-san, a producer at Capcom.
先生和我一起
Yeah, I believe that he worked on Monster Hunter Frontier and probably did some contributions to more recent Monster Hunter games that include some Frontier stuff and stuff like that. I don't know everything that Tsunano-san's worked on, but I believe that he was at least involved in Rise and Sunbreak. So, you know, it's good to see that there's actually someone from the Capcom team embedded into this Timmy Studios team working with them. I would like to introduce our
向
new
大家
game
分
to
享
you.
产品的信息。
Thank you for the introduction, Huang-san. Hello everyone, I'm Genki Tsunano, producer at Capcom. I'm happy to speak to you all today. How did the partnership start?
其实我自己和我们团队
Actually,
大部
most of
分
our
人都
team
是
members,
怪物猎
including
人
me,
系
are
列
big
的粉
fans of
丝
the Monster Hunter series.
恰好我们天美工作室
Besides the Timmy
在
Studio
移动
Group,
端
we have a
游戏
wealth
的
of
研发
experience
和
and
长线运营
achievements
上有着非常
in
丰富的
developing
经
mobile
验和
games
积
and
累
operating them long
这时候我
term.
们想
We
肯定也
proposed
有
a
很多
partnership
玩
a
家
few
和
years
我们
ago
有
in the
着
hopes
相
of
同的
making a
愿望
Monster Hunter game.
所以在几年
And this was confirmed years ago, where I think I even have a video talking about it. I wasn't particularly happy. Still am not particularly happy because I would rather see this in PC, consoles, that type of stuff. But anyways, they continue, in which our passion and expertise
我们
synergize.
正式向 Capcom 发出了合作邀请，很高兴。
Thankfully,
后来
their
获得对方
response
的
was
积极
very
回应，
positive, so we
于
were
是就
able to
促
move
成了
forward
本
with the
次合作。
project.
我们非常希望通过这
We
次
hope to
合
bring
作
joy to Monster
向
Hunter
全
fans
球
all
的
over
怪
the
物猎
world
人
by
系列
making a
用
game
户
that they can
提
play
供随时随
anytime,
地且
anywhere.
稳定的联机体验。同时还希望让
It could also be
不熟悉怪物
wonderful
猎
if
人
this
系列
game
的
could be the
用户
first
通
hunting
过这款
experience for
产
those
品
who are not
开启
familiar
自
with
己的
Monster
狩
Hunter
猎
yet.
之旅。
Which this is actually something that we also need to consider, because if this is going to be a simplified version of a Monster Hunter game, right, which is something that I've already hypothesized in yesterday's video, that the combat's going to be a little bit more simplified, more streamlined, it could be a way to get people into the game. Potentially a better way than Monster Hunter now, in my opinion, because I'm not a big fan of Monster Hunter now, in case guys haven't noticed yet. Around 4 years ago, we received an enthusiastic proposal involving the Timmy Studio Group team, who has a long track record of developing games and has produced many great results on mobile devices in particular. We were presented with exciting ideas to create a brand new Monster Hunter mobile game. The ideas were full of unique elements that are powered by Timmy Studio Group's unique, and such elements were unprecedented in Monster Hunter series. Through this partnership, we at Capcom were also looking forward to bringing a fresh new Monster Hunter adventure to players online, worldwide. What is the concept of the game?
Monster Hunter Outlanders
is a new mobile game jointly created by Timmy Studio Group and Capcom. Players embark on adventures in an open-world setting with original characters and buddies. We have kept much of the Monster Hunter series' well-refined gameplay as possible, while optimizing various parts of this game to maximize the fun, unique of the system. Let me actually go back because I want to just look at the gameplay without having to focus on reading the... Okay, that looked like a switch scroll dodge from Sunbreak. Right? I think it looked like that. He's fighting a Diablos here with a longsword. Wait, the monster was charging up red? Huh. Is that supposed to symbolize there's an attack coming? Like you can't see him coiling his body and getting ready to just like give you the old the old hip check. Interesting that they've chosen to highlight when the attack is coming to, I guess, make it easier for players to like do parries and stuff like that. Strange though. Or could it? I don't think it was because of the hit. We also have that over there that looks like Dread Queen. Optimizing various parts of this game to make this new battle system. Yeah, see, it was charging up as well. Next, I would like to introduce some features of the game. Okay, open world. The hunting grounds include forests, swamps, and deserts, all of which are connected seamlessly. When facing the monsters in each area, players need to be mindful of the local climate and ecosystems. We're also developing a new crafting elements and other features that allow players to adventure however they like within the open world areas. Okay, so there's going to be like building and stuff. Like, look at this. The animations actually look pretty good. And the art style also looks pretty clean and solid. We have the Gajalakas here as well. Chopping trees in Monster Hunter, though, that's a weird one. It breaks down. And then you can make like your own little house. And this actually looks good. It's got some chromatic aberration going. I know that a lot of players don't like chromatic aberration, but ever since Bloodborne, I've actually been somewhat of a fan of a little bit of chromatic aberration. Not too much. You put too much chromatic aberration in there, it just looks like terrible. But like if you are subtle about chromatic aberration, I think it's got its place. We'll announce more details as time goes on. So you can do like stuff to allows you to move better throughout the maps. This is kind of like, now I understand what people were saying about Wild Hearts, because I've seen a lot of people today in my timeline going like, oh, it's like Wild Hearts. And yeah, it's the same thing that you were doing in Wild Hearts, setting up like different zip lines and stuff like that to get you around the map a little bit faster. Unique hunting experiences. Now I'd like to talk about the characters in the trailer. This game, players can choose their own characters from a new lineup of characters. I wonder what that could possibly mean, with the waifu right there on screen and everything. What could that possibly mean? The only thing wrong with this picture is the fact that she's using a bow. Because a proper waifu would use something like a gun lance or a charge blade sword and shield. You know, imagine a waifu using a bow. Come on now. Let's be reasonable here.
家还能操作其他的全新角色进行狩猎和冒险。与主人公不同
The characters come from distinct origins, and their appearances and personalities also vary. Their specialized weapons and skills are different as well. So, in yesterday's video, I talked about how I thought this was a gun lance. It's been confirmed that this is a lance. Boo! Actually, big W for Lance Bros. This character looks pretty sweet. Fighting with them in harmony will be the key to turning the hunt in your favor. I would like to speak a bit about buddies. In addition to Palico from past entries in the series, there will be new buddies unique to this game. They will be reliable supporters in situations like item gathering and monster hunting. We'll have more announcements in the future about the characters and buddies. It actually seems, if you look at this part of the video, it actually seems like you are playing as a buddy. Like, look at this. You can actually see the Palico coming up, slapping him. And you can see in another scene here, there's like the howl comes in. There's like AoEs and stuff. Like, see right there? That almost looks like you're playing as the buddies, which this would actually be really cool for Gaijin because he's been wanting to play as a Prowler ever since Generations Ultimate, so yeah. We'll have more announcements in the future about the characters and buddies. This is like 99% confirmation that the game's going to be a gacha. Monster Hunter Outlanders will offer a unique gameplay experience, but at the same time will also include melee elements honed over the life of the series, of course. That Paolumu gear. It will feature some weapons and armors from past entries, so while there will also be new elements, players can continue to experience the fun, familiar actions of past Monster Hunter games. As for the controls, we requested fine-tuning to Timmy Studio Group, considering the mobile platform experience. We will reveal more as time goes on, so please look forward to the latest updates. Monsters. Since Monster Hunter Outlanders is the new spin-off of the Monster Hunter series, players will encounter a multitude of monsters. Furuyaku! As for the kinds of hunting tactics and monsters on mobile devices where friends can join together, these visuals look really good. Like, this is not going to be running on any old phone. Like, I don't know if this thing's going to be running on my phone, which is all the more reason for exploring alternatives to where we can potentially play on PC. We'll be providing more information soon enough. Have you noticed the large monster in the trailer? That is a Rathian who has mutated and become more ferocious due to certain environmental conditions. Damn. Beyond mutated and enraged monsters, there will also be new kinds of large monsters as players progress. We'll have more to say about the story and monsters as time goes on. Of course, they heavily feature the longsword, which still has Foresight Slash at least. There you have a summary of all the what Monster Hunter Outlanders is all about. Please look forward to further announcements in the days to come. This is our first announcement since revealing our partnership with Timmy Studio Group in 2022. We are thrilled to unveil Monster Hunter Outlanders, the new mobile Monster Hunter game with unique gameplay experiences. Made possible through the mobile game development know-how cultivated by Timmy Studios. Please look forward to more news in the future. I mean, the gameplay looks solid. It's just, again, the biggest thing about this game is going to be the monetization. And that is the thing I need to get in there. I need to test it. I need to feel it out. And I need to see how the monetization is going to work and how bad it's going to feel. Now, we have a couple of more things here because they've also been releasing these little video snippets that I hadn't really seen yet. So let's take a look here. So this is the little cannon that they showed in the video there. Okay. What's this? This is the longsword gameplay. As you can see, Foresight Slash right there. With the special sheath as well. So Foresight Slash, special sheath. And then here we have that special Rathian. And see, the gameplay that I was talking about with the buddies. Clearly the thing being controlled here is the Kahoot, or whatever they're going to call this owl, which is providing like buffs. So it looks like, if you notice, there's 3 players here, right? You're playing as the owl, then there's another player, maybe a companion or something, and another one. So maybe one of the players can just play as a buddy or a prowler or something like that. Interesting. And here we have Anjanath getting slapped around by the Palico. Alright. And for the final one, we have a Rathian just resting up. Okay, not a whole lot of information to be gathered there. And then I also picked up this article from The Verge by Michael McWhirter. Not Verge, Polygon, who talks about this stuff. Let's see what they have to say. Capcom's Monster Hunter franchise getting brand new entry on mobile devices with Monster Hunter Outlanders. Developer Timmy Studio Group and Capcom announced Tuesday. The upcoming game is described as an open-world survival game set in the Monster Hunter universe. Will feature a character collection aspect a la Genshin Impact and another recently announced AAA spin-off Destiny Rising. Monster Hunter Outlanders promises a traditional hunting experience with open-world exploration, varied ecosystems, gear crafting, and cooperative play for up to 4 players. Its creators said it's time for mobile players to fully enjoy what makes Monster Hunter one of the most beloved franchises in gaming, Timmy Studio Group producer Dong Huang said in a news release. Monster Hunter Outlanders not only offers players an authentic hunting experience, but it does it in a massive open world featuring the community and social systems players are looking for today. Monster Hunter Outlanders will also have a bunch of attractive characters. Gotta be careful with that messaging there. You're gonna get yourself canceled. Attractive characters to collect, presumably in gacha-style fashion, as well as a variety of cute pet sidekicks, not just palicos. Yeah, we saw the monkey and the Kahoot. Timmy has plenty of experience adapting AAA franchises for mobile. The Tencent-owned studio's previous work includes Call of Duty Mobile and Pokemon Unite. Capcom and Tencent announced their plans to team up in 2022. Monster Hunter Outlanders does not have a release date, but Timmy said it will be conducting multiple playtests in advance of the game's global launch. Capcom's released a handful of mobile games based on a 20-year-old Monster Hunter brand, but most have been smaller minigame-focused interpretations. Yeah, and then they talk about Monster Hunter now. Blech, not really a big fan. I mean, I get it. If you guys like it, you like it. It's not. I already know that Monster Hunter now is not for me. Okay, look, I don't mean to like be discouraging. I know how that sounded. It's not the point. If you like it, play what you want. It's none of my business. Not a big fan of it, but this one I'm curious. And like I said, it's all going to boil down to the. It's all going to boil down to the monetization at the end of the day. But that's going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe, bell notification icon, all that jazz. And let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay strong, stay safe. Peace out.